Hi, Shirley here, and I'm on another episode of analyzing people who we think are the devil but are actually not. And on today's episode, we have the natal chart of Richard Branson. Now, before I go there, for those of you who do not know who I am an astrologer, an intuitive, and a holistic health practitioner in my country, that is Israel. And I do readings worldwide, and that's $300 for a 90 minutes reading where we take a look at your chart, and I give you both channeled and cognitive messages that are coming up for you in particular, so you could know which way transits and your energies manifest for you and what you can do about your chart. It is not a generic interpretation, but actually a person-based interpretation that is very accurate. It's channeled to you. And I also do take people who don't have the exact birth time, and that is because I'm also a channeler, and while I don't do rectifications per se, I can give you the knowledge that you need from your chart to be delivered to you through channeling, in addition to looking at the aspects in your chart. And I also do 30 minutes readings for $150. This is if you have only one question or two questions that you want me to look into. Then you might want to get the 30 minutes reading. I do recommend to go for the 90 minutes reading if you can. Having all that crossed my tell them to subscribe to your channel. To subscribe to my channel. I channel my guidance as I speak here. So subscribe to my channel, whether you're watching this on Odyssey, on YouTube, or on Rumble. Share it with like-minded people and comment in the comments below. Who do you think is the devil? Channel a message from this person and tell me what did you receive. This is a practice for you. I'm not doing this alone. I'm doing this together with you right now. So, yeah, I have a pattern interruption for you all, and this is a sleeping cat. Do you see the sleeping cat? Do you see the sleeping cat? Do you see the sleeping? Now you see the sleeping cat. Now that we've bothered the sleeping cat, we can go back to the yard, and I'm going to channel Richard Branson's chart for you. 3 things I want to talk about: the midheaven in Aries, Mercury in Leo, and the Sun in Cancer. And I'm going to talk about none of them. What I'm going to talk about is the relationship between midheaven in Aries and the Sun and Mercury in Cancer and Leo. Now, what's interesting about Mercury in Leo and the midheaven in Aries is that you would think it is a trine. If you are an astrologer or a beginner astrologer watching this, then you should know that Leo. Hello, Leo. Hello, Leo. Hello. Oh my God, this is so sweet. Oh my God. Sorry. Yes, ADHD. Then you should think it is probably a trine. But no, Mercury and the midheaven actually square each other. Now, how come that happens? This is an astrology lesson for y'all for free. Halt to that. So, midheaven is in the end of another cat. Another cat. I'm going to keep you in tension, but you're going to see this. Yes, oh my God, it's so sweet. Yeah, my. The way he's looking at me. That was a cat interruption. And while the midheaven is in 27 degrees Aries, Mercury is in, if I'm not mistaken, 1 degree Leo. That means Mercury is almost in Cancer, and but it's already in Leo, and the midheaven is almost in Taurus. And what do we know about Taurus and Leo? They square, right? Taurus and Leo, they square. And so we get a square relationship between 2 planetary positions that we would think about as a trine, right? 2 fire signs, 2 signs of the same element. We would think about them as trining each other, but they don't. That's important. Pay attention to that when you're reading charts. Now, let's talk about the meaning of the Sun and Mercury squaring the midheaven. With the Sun, what do we have sun sign astrology for, right? The Sun is the way we shine in the world. It's our character, our individuality, our personal quirks, our contentment, sense of contentment, or the lack of. And Mercury is the way we communicate, the way we express, the way we trade, business. Okay, the way we make, so some of the way we make money, not all of it. Some of the way we make money, our nervous system. Okay, languages, our mannerisms. That's also expression of mannerisms. Sometimes expression of gender as well. That's Mercury. And what happens when these two square the midheaven? The midheaven is the purpose of the soul. It's a part of the purpose of the soul. It's the purpose of the soul in the sense of where this person is going to. And I have a mentor called Michael A. Bryan who is teaching me Uranian astrology, which I don't normally do, but I'm keeping to have this analogy for Michael, so shout out to Michael, about the MC in Uranian astrology as a tofu. What you know about the tofu it doesn't have its own flavor, but you need to add to it flavor, so it's going to receive the flavor of other things. But what happens when that thing that's supposed to receive the flavor of other things, that's supposed to receive the flavor of the way this person is heading, the way this person is moving ahead in the world, moving ahead in society, moving ahead its life, pursuing the goal of the ascendant, which, by the way, is also in Leo. And that person is also an entertainer. But that's not what we're talking about. What happens when the midheaven squares the way the person shines? Is in conflictual relationships with the shine of the person, with the nervous system of the person, with the expression of the person. What we get is a person that moves ahead in a way that is conflictual with who they actually are. This can be a person who would crack a joke that he thinks you want to hear, but it's not actually the joke he wants to tell. And having the midheaven in Aries, this is a person who tries and tries and tries and tries and tries and tries and won't back down. He's going to begin something after another, after another, after another. We're heading to another interruption, and I wonder what. No, I'm not. No. Okay. My roommate is going to kill me. Those were the dishes. To think. The life of an entrepreneur. That's the life of an entrepreneur. I can't believe they showed that. Those were the dishes in the sink. So, back to reality. So, those relationships between, that midheaven in Aries, is going to try time and time again, and to pioneer something, to begin something new, to begin something, another company, another business, another thing, another that, is going to do that in a way. He's going to come about in a way that is more like what the audience is seeking, or what the native believes the audience is seeking at the same time. And therefore, the image that person may have can have nothing to do with who that person actually is. It can be that very, sensitive, emotional, or even emo person who plays out this character that is extravagant, that is expressive, that is, the joke cracker of the party, the life of the party, while inside, they ain't nothing like it. If y'all know Robbie Williams, the exact same things. He keeps saying that he goes on stage, he's very nervous. He keeps trying to crack the jokes that everybody will like. And he does some things that now would not be considered so sociable. For example, it is no longer considered a thing to behave with women in the way that, some of these people did, like, Robbie Williams, like Richard Branson. That doesn't make them right, and that doesn't make them just. But it also doesn't make them rapists. And doesn't make them, well, it does in today's society make them, some of them, sexual offenders. But it does not make them the bad person. It is more, and it is not even a don't blame the player, blame the game kind of a thing. It is a person who is very dependent on the crowd, and very dependent on the crowd in a very substantial way. He needs to make money from people. He needs to make money being an entrepreneur and applying to the grand masses. And for those of you who have been entrepreneurs, you don't know what it's like to try and, find the right subscribers, to try and find the viewers who actually view your videos, your entire video, without, cracking your soul up. And I've been doing this for like 2-3 years. I know what standards did I have to put up, and how hard did I have to work to preserve these standards and to try new things. And this is not in any way justification for unethical behavior with, I'm a Me Too veteran. I would not justify unethical behavior with, people. But it is to say that, we need to look at ourselves as a society. What do we ask for as a crowd? We have a power as a crowd. What do we ask for as a crowd? What jokes do we enjoy? What jokes do we endorse? The best thing you could do in a comedian show for the comedian is not to clap when he cracks the wrong joke, because that's what he goes by. And it is beyond the scope of this video to explain just why is it so, but the moral standards of a person who is standing in front of the crowd are very shaken because of that relationship where imagine standing in front of a crowd of 10,000 people, and all of them cracking to a joke that you just said, maybe even unintentionally so, maybe even impulsively so, and they all just are exploding and laughing and clapping, and you think that joke, there's something wrong about it, but you have a mass of people now, applauding to that joke, so you may think, that maybe I was judging myself too harshly. That can happen. And this is something we need to think about as a crowd. When do we stop clapping? Because, when we stop clapping, the comedian, the entertainer, the producer, the entrepreneur sees that video, that joke, that content, that reclama, that publicity sign, that advertisement, it was not working. It didn't receive the likes, it didn't receive the views. And so, it's not going to go again. It's not going to go again. Just the way, I do a YouTube video. I look at, what people want to hear about. I did a video of channeling a crystal, and I saw nobody cared. So I just moved it to my other channel, to Magical Sunrise 1984 channel. And guess what? I actually have viewers there. Maybe that was not the time and the place. We do all kinds of things to change things around. I do it with 178 subscribers, but when somebody does that with, let's say, 10 million subscribers, that's a massive bias. That's a massive potential bias. And so our role as a society is to make sure that we clap at the right things. And an entrepreneur watching this, for a Richard Branson watching this, what their role is to make sure that they endorse the content they produce. Just like when we are frustrated from something and we make a business about, oh, I'm going to do something better, we endorse that business. So all there is left is to not become the source of frustration of another entrepreneur to make a business that is an alternative to you because of something that is so insignificant, like you yourself do not endorse your own mannerisms and jokes. And so to creatively think about the way through this, to creatively think about what's the root of all of this, where do I get to the bottom of this, how do I change the one thing that changes everything in my mannerisms, in my communication, in my everything, like me in this video, which is pattern interruption that I was suddenly channeling. Now you don't see me. Now you do. Okay? How do we create mannerisms that we endorse? We can try and play and change around and switch around. Just make sure that what you do is in alignment with what you would want to see, what you would want to watch, what you would want to receive, as a business owner. And this is also a process I'm going through with my business. I was giving myself readings. And I'm like, that's so powerful. That's a powerful experience. It can be a very validating experience. It can be a shocking experience. Like, I thought that I'm a light person. And then I give myself a reading. I'm like, no. I should not, make people think that I'm that light astrologer just because I always think about what you can do and how you can interfere and how you can empower yourself. That does not mean that receiving a reading for me is a light experience. It's a very transformative experience. It's a very deep experience. It can also be a bit of... Is there a PC word for a shocking experience? Because it can be a bit of a shocking experience, but not a shock that would leave you traumatized. Rather a shock that would keep you transformed. Because it can be that reality shock of, oh, that. But enough about me. What else do I gotta say as to the Richard Bransons watching these? Yes, in no way you should think that this is not a keep doing what you're doing. This is a keep doing what you're doing. It's do more of you and less of what you think the crowd wants to see. Because you don't, just because, some of your businesses started as being frustrated by someone, do not try to think what the crowd wants to see. What made your business successful, and you know who you are if you're watching this, what made your business successful is a concept called scratching your own itch. And if you heard about Tim Ferriss, which is probably going to be my next virtual guest at the show, my next energy guest at the show, you've heard about the concept of scratching your own itch. You got successful because you've scratched your own itch. Your itch was, I'm annoyed by this. I'm going to do a business that does that way better. You've scratched your own itch. So keep doing that. Don't try to appeal to the crowd with your mannerisms and communication. If you have something blocking you, if you have a pattern that you identify, get to the root cause of it. Get to the, to rock bottom of it without going rock bottom yourself. It's easy. For you guys, it's easy. You can get at the root of something and change it from the core. It's especially a great time to do it and to set intention to do it right now on this Thursday, the eclipse on Algol. Which, okay, I guess this will be uploaded on Thursday. Yes, this will be uploaded on Thursday. So you can get a chance to do that for you today and set an intention to eclipse that thing. Then you know what it is that keep you at the wrong patterns of mannerisms and communications. And I'm going to do it myself. Why not? Why the heck? Not. It kind of keep you from being that person that you want to be with those ways that you endorse about yourself. And in that, I'm going to end the video. I'm going to subscribe to my channel. Invite you to subscribe to my channel, whether you see it on Odyssey, on Rumble, or on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter, so you can check the link down below for my other social media. And if it's not there, you can bug me about it, because I sometimes am forgetful, maybe purposefully so. Like, share, comments. Click the bell if you're on YouTube and you subscribe, because otherwise you don't get the notifications. And I do readings. I'm a consulting astrologer, an intuitive reader, and a holistic health practitioner. I only give medical advice to people within my country for insurance reasons. I live in Israel. And I do 90 minutes reads for $300. Or the equivalent in Bitcoin or Ethereum, and 30 minutes reading in $150 for 1 or 2 questions that you may have. If it's a 30 minutes reading, I mostly recommend to take the 90 minutes reading. It's also cheaper when you think about the time I put into it and what you receive, and the knowledge and the tools and practices and the energy that you receive while working one-on-one with me. I'm a lot less neurotic with the camera when I do one-on-one consultations, I promise you. So, without further ado, I'm going to wish you a good evening, good day, good night. Salam alaikum, saidati, and ciao.